show you I'm betting on myself. Count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Let's go.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. And Wilson with it, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 40. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Dolphins at 500 hit 6-6. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. And
the Broncos get there and take him down. Randy Gregory drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds them to just 3 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 13. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. On 3rd down, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And we'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though. But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And that's on Austin Jackson, first-round pick in 2020. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And past the 30 down to about the 27.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Second down, back to Sanders. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws in a double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
Now Wilson on first down. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
On second down, Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson, quick slant to Hamler. Touchdown, Broncos! K.J. Hamler, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive. They watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 56 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 33 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7 as they come up 1st and 10. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here's Hill on the return. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 52 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-7. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A give to Williams, running right. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
So how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Hill to return it. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And that's caught inside the 35. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. Shepard now from the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys are going to take over. 3-yard line. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 35 yards away. Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Xavier Howard, and the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why, because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 132 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Another run here with Sanders. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the the season.
And the Dolphins have opened the lead up to 30.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting them back on the sand.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He is going to find Hill here.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running right, here's Sanders.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 155 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10.
Another run with Sanders. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will finish off this third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 41, Wilson.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Again, Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now a carry for Sanders. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 8 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run with Sanders. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Shepard now from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Play action. Now Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And they will take a knee here.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Dolphins, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, huh? But they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the boom. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence of been serving.